Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning, April 5th. I'm losing track of my days. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of shit coming at me lately. Most of you all know about the tornado that ripped through my hometown in southern Illinois. We talked about that on Monday. Monday night, I was on the phone with my Aunt Sue. So I have two aunts that live in Indianapolis, and they were my dad's sisters. My Aunt Fran and my Aunt Sue, and some of their family all live up here. So I'm talking to my Aunt Sue. We are talking about Easter and how many deviled eggs that I have to bring, because the other aunt told me too many because her finger hit a 2 instead of a 1. So anyway, Sue and I are talking on the phone back and forth. We were like 3 times, I guess, on the phone. And at 8:30, she calls me again, and I'm like, "What'd you forget?" She says, "I didn't forget anything. I just got some really bad news." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck. What?" Because I have 4 people in my family that are over 80. So I have mentally prepared for these to pass. You know, that could be happening anytime. And what she told me was that they had found her son dead, and me and my brother were talking about this last night. We think he was like 51 or 52-ish. I can't remember. I know he's younger than my brother. So when she said that, I was just kind of like, what? I'm like, we had been talking off and on for the last hour, so this like had just come in like 10 minutes ago. So, of course, that happened at 8:30 on Monday night, and when you get news like that, you don't sleep very well. So Monday night, I didn't sleep. I didn't do a video yesterday morning because I just was kind of out of it and still processing. It was just like, I feel like the universe is just zinging stuff at me. You know, I had that tornado and everything to process. Now I have a death of someone that's a little bit younger than me to process. Some other stuff to process, and I'm still standing. And I feel like I'm doing very good staying grounded, which wouldn't have always been the case. I mean, I feel like I'm standing very solid, and things just keep zinging my way, and I'm doing okay. So anyway, I am going to do cards today on what the full moon is supposed to be releasing, because we have a full moon coming in like late tonight. Depends on where you're at. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my emotions cards, and actually I am going to do the twin flame cards. I don't know why I picked those up today, but that seems relevant to see if we can figure out what kind of stuff is probably washing through us right now. I feel like I've done okay with the emotions, but they must be trying to get us to release certain things. So let's see if we can figure out what that is. Okay, what cleansing is coming through on this full moon that we currently are kind of in the middle of? What is the cleansing that we are trying to get out of, like clear out, move out? What is the full moon here to release and remove from us? What is the full moon here to release and remove from our auras, our bodies, our emotional bodies? What is this full moon here to release? Okay, release and remove. What is the full moon here to release and remove? All right, I have several cards here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so I have 4 cards so far. I want one more, or at least 1 or 2. What is the full moon here to release or remove? What is the full moon here to release or remove? Okay. Okay. So the first one is the Trapped card. The second one came up in reverse, and it says Respectful. So it would be the opposite of differential, courteous, and admiring. So I imagine that is because of everything that is coming through, it is supposed to show us those negative qualities in ourselves and in other people, and how they handle surprises, because this came up, the surprised card. So what I feel like is the universe is trying to get us to be Gumby and not grounded and rooted in anything particular, because like when I imagine what's kind of going on with me, and maybe other people are experiencing this as well, I feel like I'm kind of flying through space with all these planets, and I'm bobbing and weaving all of these stars coming at me and everything. So it feels like the universe is like, man, we're going to throw them another one. Let's see how they react to this. Let's throw them another one and see how they react to this. And, you know, a lot of people are going to just stand there and get hit, and then they're going to fall to the ground and cry, or they're going to, you know, react and move around and not get completely destroyed by this stuff that hits them. The proud card came up, but it was kind of sideways, and I'm not sure exactly. It wasn't like straight up, and it wasn't like necessarily upside down. So I'm trying to think what the proud is. It says honored, satisfied, and pleased. Okay, so I guess what I got is, it is if you are handling these strong energies that are coming in and you're handling them well, which is kind of what I feel like. I'm kind of proud that I am not letting this stuff get me down. I haven't cried yet, kind of surprisingly. But I feel like it's kind of swirling around me, and it's like trying to, I don't know if it's trying to get my attention, our attention. Something's going on that they're trying to get our attention. And if you are withstanding all of these crashing energies around us, you should be proud. If you aren't laying in bed bawling your head off right now, be proud of that, because they are shaking your reality up in many, many ways. And then the vulnerable card came up. We have another storm coming in today. So I do feel a little vulnerable about that, but I'm going to put my protection bubble up again, that, you know, I am safe, the people around me are safe, you know, whatever, because when these storms come through, there is not anything that we can do. So okay, so that's part of what's being cleared out or going on with these full moon energies. I'm going to do whatever reason. And I feel like this probably does have to do with relationships. So there's some relationships, and you know what, come to think of it, that's why I picked these cards. It's a Libra full moon, and I am a Libra. So that might be why I personally am getting hit harder, is because this is a full moon in Libra, and my sun sign is Libra. And Libras are all about relationships and balance in relationships. So there's some relationship stuff coming up, and I want to know what else is coming up to be healed and released around the relationships with this full moon. So what in the relationship department still needs to be healed or looked at? What in the relationship department still needs to be healed and looked at? What still needs to be healed and looked at in the relationship department? What still needs to be looked at and healed in the relationship department with this full moon? What still needs... There's another one, and there's one that's upside down. Okay, so I have 6 here, I think. Okay. So this says the 5th dimension. So released and healed. I'm thinking that part of what all is going on is to release and heal from the 3rd dimension, which is the, you know, where we live on Earth, and with tornadoes coming through and all of the normal 3D stuff, people passing away, whatever. They are wanting you to release that and move yourself to the 5th dimension. That could be one of the reasons that I am doing better, is because I have tried to move myself to the 5th dimension and move myself out of the 3D phase and not stay attached to what's going on down here as much. The second one is release. So release and heal free will. Um, Free will can get people in a lot of trouble because they could be being urged to do one thing by spirit, source, the universe, God, and their free will keeps grounding them to the earth, going, no, I want to do it this way. And the earth or the spirit and God source is like going, but you would be happier if you would do it this way. And so I think they're trying to release free will. I also think that free will has a lot to do with ego. So they're probably trying to release some ego when it comes to relationships. And the next card, well, this is upside down, but I don't feel like it needs to be. This is the tribe card. So we all have our tribe. And since it was in the reverse position, I guess what I feel like is there are people in your life that are not part of your tribe. And if there are people in your life that are not part of your tribe that are maybe bringing your vibrations down, they are wanting you to release those and go find your true higher self, higher vibrating tribe, the people that you will be moving into New Earth with. Because it's going to be very important when we do move into New Earth that we are surrounded by our people. They will be our community. They will be helping us come into this next phase of life. Okay. Let's see. This is the guide card. So if we are releasing, let me think about this. What about, okay. There are people in the world that you may look to guide you. And I feel like they are saying, release those guides that may not necessarily have your best interest in mind. And what I'm getting with that is, we all have people that we may go talk to or whatever, just to kind of maybe therapy sessions and whatever. Be careful who you listen to and pay attention to and lead you down certain paths, because they are going to have their best interest in mind more than maybe your best interest in mind. So I feel like that's just a release some of the people that you may take heed from and listen to their advice, because you really need to be listening to your own advice the most. You really, really, really need to be tapping into your inner source, because that's going to be the most truthful for you, the most beneficial, the most honest. And outside sources that may guide you don't always, they're coming from their heart, what's best for them, and then kind of laying that out on you. And that's not what's best for you. What's best for you is what's in your heart and what your truth is. The next one says settling. I also noticed there's a teddy bear on this. This feels like this is a specific message for me. If we are releasing, settling. So I guess maybe a lot of us have let me think about that. They want us to release settling. So I guess a lot of us have very, very, very low expectations of our quality of life. And the universe is wanting us to release those low expectations and think a little bit bigger. There is some magic in the world, and they would like for us to access this. And the reason this has special meaning to me is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard me talk about a special meditation that I did with my divine masculine. And at the end of it, I remember saying, while I was still in meditation, I was like, did I just make this crap up or what? I'm like, can you give me some sort of confirmation that this is not made up? And they told me, look for a teddy bear within the next 24 to 48 hours. And I was like, okay. And within a couple of hours, I started having this song playing in my head. And it was Pink's Fucking Perfect song. And I got online, I looked up the lyrics, and the lyrics didn't necessarily mean anything. I clicked on like the official video, music video of it, and there was a teddy bear that played all the way through. It was like one of the main characters. There's a teddy bear on this. And I also had a dream about my divine masculine last night. So that feels like this message is specifically for me, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. And then the next one is balancing the scales. So, and I'm thinking, well, the Libra sign is the balancing of the scales. So they are doing some sort of balancing of the scales. And I feel like they are saying, don't worry about the balancing of the scales. We are working on that. Release the fact that you think that the bad guys may look like they're winning or whatever. And this feels like this is the universe saying to you, we are balancing the scales. We've got you covered. Don't worry about it. And do your best to stay balanced right now. If you do have these things kind of zinging at you and all of this energy and everything, stay as balanced as you can so you don't get off center, so you don't end up in bed bawling your head off all afternoon because you are so completely overwhelmed. So I'm going to say just be really super careful right now of overwhelm, and don't let other people that might be having these like, oh my God, I'm like losing my footing. Don't let them pull you down, because there could be a lot of people right now that might be like hanging on to your energy because they are feeling off balance. So just be really careful about staying grounded as you can, because you need to protect your energy more than you need to save their ass through this whole thing. So anyway, I think that's it. Have a good full moon. Have a good rest of the week. We'll see what I do tomorrow. I still need to do the physical ascension signs, but so much other stuff seems to be coming in. I didn't pay a lot of attention to it yesterday, but I did see that Stormy Daniels has to pay Trump some money. So that was a good ending. I liked that. So it is interesting to see kind of what's coming out, and let the universe balance the scales. So that's it. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.